Sometimes if you move carefully through the forest, breathing like the ones in the old stories, who could cross a shimmering bed of leaves without a sound, you come to a place whose only task is to trouble you with tiny but frightening requests, conceived out of nowhere, but in this place beginning to lead everywhere. Requests to stop what you are doing right now, and to stop what you are becoming while you do it. Questions that can make or unmake a life. Questions that have patiently waited for you. Questions that have no right to go away. Amid the noise and stress of daily life, help us to preserve a silence within. In moments of crisis, may we turn to you, the center of our being, to find you awaiting us. Bless us with the vision of your changelessness and grant us peace. Amen.
A reading from the Gospel according to Mark. John said to Jesus, "Teacher, we saw someone chasing out demons in your name, and we tried to stop him because he was not following us." But Jesus said, do not stop him, for no one who does a deed of power in my name will soon be able afterwards to speak evil of me. Whoever is not against us is for us. For truly I tell you, whoever gives you a cup of water to drink because you bear the name of Christ will by no means lose the reward. If any of you put a stumbling block before one of these little ones who believe in me, it would be better for you if a great millstone were hung around your neck and you were thrown into the sea. If your hand causes you to stumble, cut it off. It is better for you to enter life maimed than to have two hands and to go to hell, to the unquenchable fire. And if your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off. It is better for you to enter life lame than to have 2 feet and to be thrown into hell. And if your eye causes you to stumble, tear it out. It is better for you to enter the kingdom of God with 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into hell, where the worm never dies and the fire is never quenched. For everyone will be salted with fire. Salt is good, but if salt has lost its saltiness, how can you season it? Have salt in yourselves and be at peace with one another.
Years ago, I had the opportunity to travel to Russia and spend 3 weeks riding around on trains and visiting the cities that I had traveled so many times in my imagination. Russian literature and history were my passions from a young age. I think I was probably the only kid in my elementary school to do my biography report on Grigory Rasputin. As I got older, I fell in love with Dostoevsky, Mandelstam, Akhmatova, Tsvetaeva, Mayakovsky, and Tolstoy. I have read Tolstoy's War and Peace several times over the years, and it never feels like I'm reading the same novel. Tiny details reveal themselves. The skin of the words peel away to reveal new riddles and perspectives. I spent my 30th birthday in St. Petersburg. At the time of my visit, fires were raging outside of Moscow, and Russia was experiencing an uncharacteristic heat wave. My eyes burned during the trip, and the first week, I was terrified to speak at all. Fearing that my Russian wasn't good enough, I walked around looking at flashcards, whispering them to myself. The second week, by the time my birthday came around, I made a list of 10 things I had to do. Realistically, it would have taken days, but everything had to be perfect. Halfway through the day, my friend said she needed to take a break, and we made an unplanned stop at the Kazan Cathedral on Nevsky Prospect. I was a little irked. I hadn't planned for breaks. As we walked in, we realized that we had stepped into a church service. It was more than 100 degrees in the cathedral, and there were masses of ancient-looking women in headscarves with bowed heads. In the Russian Orthodox Church, the services are sung, and the beautiful bass notes of the priest's prayers filled the air, as did the scent of lilies, which seemed to be everywhere. My friend and I separated, and I went to light a candle. Standing in front of an icon of St. Nikolai, I felt my eyes welling up and was overwhelmed by the sounds of singing intertwined with soft whispers of prayers and women crying. I turned around and saw a woman prostrate herself on the ground, holding her head in her hands. I saw other women pushing each other towards something at the front of the church that I couldn't see. At that moment, I didn't understand anything, but I wanted to be a part of it anyway. So I joined the crowd, and the women behind me pushed me forward towards that something in front of the church. Then fear set in. Who is I to be joining these believers? Will God throw me out? Or maybe worse, what would these women do to me when they realized I was a fake? Eventually, I got to the front of the church and saw what the crowd was pushing towards. It was an icon of Mary and baby Jesus. It looked quite old. When the women reached the icon, they fell to their knees and kissed it. Though it would be many years before I would return to church or have anything resembling a spiritual life, I did the same. I bowed my head, prayed, and kissed the icon with a love and reverence towards God that I didn't know I had. Afterwards, what haunted me wasn't the strangeness of how I got there, but the effortlessness of the love I felt. The icon that day was the Fatima Kazanskaya, one of the most beloved icons in Russia. It was the same icon that General Kutuzov carried with him in the War of 1812. It was the icon that the people of Leningrad carried in procession during the horrors of the Nazi siege. My birthday, it turns out, is also her feast day. This last year and a half has been extremely difficult. Sometimes I feel like I have no faith left. Sometimes I still feel like a fake in the eyes of God. I have long come to realize that nothing and no one is perfect. Fear and insecurity seem like constant companions. But in moments of doubt, I try to remember this experience of God and think on the words spoken before communion at this service. Come, you who have much faith, and you who have little, you who have been here often, and you who have not been here long, you who have tried to follow, and you who have failed. Come, because it is the Lord who invites you. It is his will that those who want him should meet him here.
Let us pray for the church and the world.
Let us first of all pray for those who have no one to pray for them. Let us pray for the concerns of our community, our families and friends, and all who have requested our prayers. Let us pray for the Christian church and for all people of faith. Let us pray for our nation and for leaders around the world. Let us pray for those who have died and for all who grieve, especially George Locker Jr. and Mimi Daniel. Finally, let us give thanks for all that is lovely, true, and gracious in our world and in our lives. May God still our minds, calm our hearts, breathe fresh life into us, and make us instruments of Christ to share the peace that the world cannot give. Amen.
that ye be at peace among yourselves and love one another. Follow the example of good men and women of old, and God will comfort you and help you, both in this world and in the world which is to come. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. May Christ, the Good Shepherd, bind us with a bond of love that cannot be broken. My sisters and brothers, the peace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you.
Good evening. No one else, maybe someone else can see this. The sun is blinding through the stained glass window. It's really lovely. I haven't had that experience yet. Welcome. My name is Cate Anthony. I am an associate priest here at St. Stephen's, and it is my joy to be with all of you this evening. Everyone gathered here and everyone watching on the live stream. It's just a gift to be able to be together. We have a few announcements. As you may know, the Sunday Forum takes place in the morning between the 9 and 11:15 services, and the past couple of weeks have been pretty informational about this time of transition in the parish. And in particular, today's forum hosted the Reverend Sarah Brockenborough, who works at the diocesan offices and helps shepherd parishes through times like these. And she came and just talked about what the search process, the discernment process of our search time will look like and what we can expect. And we also announced the two co-chairs of the discernment committee, which is what we used to call the search committee. And those co-chairs are Shelley Spalding and Jay Moore. And if you want to hear a little bit more, those forums are recorded and put on the website. And they're a really great way to sort of just get a compact sort of informational session about what's going on and to meet some different people who have come into the life of this parish, even during a pandemic time. So I commend those to you. There's lots in your spirit insert in your bulletin to pay attention to. In particular, I invite all of you to join me and Jay Whitmire, who is the executive director of the Lombard Mennonite Peace Center, next weekend, next Saturday from 9 to 3 for a workshop about conflict transformation. I think skills of reckoning and truth-telling are needed now more than ever in this world. Skills of how to speak truthfully in times of conflict and also how to hear fully in times of conflict. And Jay is really a wonderful resource. So I'm very excited to welcome him. You can sign up on the website. We're offering by Zoom and in person, and all of that information is in the spirit. And I hope you'll join us. I hope also that you will join us for our Sunday night dinner after this service outside. Perhaps bring a jacket. It is fall. The menu is especially delicious this weekend. It is always especially delicious, but I am excited and hungry. And it is sausage, peppers, and onions with white rice, maple roasted carrots, a green salad, and lemon ginger cookies. And I got to taste a lemon ginger cookie to make sure they weren't poison earlier. They are not poison. They are very good. So I hope that you'll join us and come and say thank you to Claire, who helps guide the cooking of these meals. If you ever want to join in on a team to cook, there is a sign up outside of where you will get your food, just through there, and then you'll proceed outside to sit. I also welcome you to this table, the Lord's table, for a time of communion. Communion is, and Eucharist are probably, I think, the most central act of this worshiping community, a time where we gather together regardless of what is happening outside of these walls, regardless of if we know the person sitting next to us, and we share in the meal that Christ shared with his friends. and we draw closer to one another and to God, and all are welcome at this table. No matter where you come from, no matter where you are on your faith journey, everyone is welcome to receive here. Will and I will be at the base of the steps, and if you're in one of the side chapels, you'll just sort of filter through to get in line. And if you'd prefer to receive a blessing, just cross your arms over your chest like that. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad to be with you all. I look forward to this, and it is a joy to see your faces, even behind masks, and to share this time with you every week. Walk in love as Christ loved us and gave himself for us, an offering and a sacrifice to God. The Lord be with you.
And also with you.
Lift up your hearts.
We lift them to the Lord.
Let us give thanks to the Lord our God.
It is right to give God thanks and praise.
It is our joy and delight to give you thanks and praise, Emmanuel, God with us. We give you thanks and praise for your hallowing of human flesh. We rejoice at your light, which shines out of darkness and enlightens all who seek you. We praise you that you brought forth new life in the family of Mary and Joseph, as you do today from all who faithfully await the fulfillment of your word. We praise you that you were known first by poor shepherds and wise seekers, as you are known today by the poor and outcast. We rejoice with the angels at your promise of peace for those who trust in you. We rejoice that the extraordinary is given birth in the ordinary places of life. So with the angels who sing glory, and with all the saints and ancestors who have known you to be with us, we sing together. We bless you for Jesus, born of the Spirit's love and a woman's body and blood. We bless you for Jesus, who shows us how to live the fullness of our humanity and thus become one with you. We remember Jesus, who laughed and wept and felt tiredness and fear, who praised Mary when she anointed him for death and blessed a woman of the city who washed his feet with tears. We remember Jesus, who touches lepers and the sick and feasted with tax collectors and sinners. We remember Christ, who lives on in all who courageously and faithfully bring forth the light of your love in the earth's darkest places. We remember Jesus, who, on the night before he died, shared a meal with his friends. He took bread, blessed it, and gave it to them, saying, "Take and eat. This is my own body given for you. Do this to remember me." After supper, he took a cup of wine, gave thanks, and gave it to them, saying, "This is my lifeblood given for you. Do this to remember me." So we proclaim the mystery of faith. Christ has died. Christ is risen. Christ will come again. O God, who is known to us in human flesh, send your Holy Spirit on us and on these material things of bread and wine, that they may be for us the body and blood of Christ, and we may be the body of Christ, food and life for the world. We ask these things through Christ, with whom and in whom, in the unity of the Holy Spirit, be glory now and forever.
Amen.
As our Savior Christ has taught us, we now pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as in heaven.
This is the table not of the church, but of the Lord. It is made ready for those who love him and for those who want to love him more. So come, you who have much faith and you who have little, you who have been here often and you who have not been here long, you who have tried to follow and you who have failed. Come, because it is the Lord who invites you. It is his will that those who want him should meet him here. The body of Christ, the bread of heaven. Let us pray. God of abundance, you have fed us with the bread of life and cup of salvation. You have united us with Christ and one another, and you have made us one with all your people in heaven and on earth. Now send us forth in the power of your Spirit, that we may proclaim your redeeming love to the world and continue forever in the risen life of Christ our Savior. Amen. We know we shall pass this way but once. If there is any kindness we can show or any good thing we can do, let us do it now. Let us not defer it or neglect it, for we shall not pass this way again. And the blessing of God Almighty, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit be among you and remain with you always.
Amen. Go out into the world in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor everyone. Love and serve God, rejoicing in the power of the Spirit. Thanks be to God.